The concept of introduction to God's creation serves as the foundational premise for exploring the divine act of crafting the earth, humans, and animals, a narrative deeply rooted in various religious texts, most notably the Bible. This creation narrative portrays God as the ultimate architect of the universe, meticulously designing the world and all its inhabitants. The significance of this point lies in its role as a cornerstone of many theological doctrines, influencing how believers perceive their relationship with the natural world, each other, and their Creator. It underscores the belief that everything in existence is purposefully crafted and interconnected, offering a framework for understanding life's meaning and moral responsibilities. Specific examples of this concept can be found in religious practices and environmental ethics. For instance, the Christian doctrine of stewardship stems from the belief in divine creation, emphasizing humanity's responsibility to care for the earth as God's appointed caretakers. This has real-world applications in eco-theology, where faith communities actively participate in conservation efforts, advocating for sustainable practices that honor the sanctity of creation. Another example is the intrinsic value placed on human life and dignity within many cultures, derived from the belief that humans are made in the image of God, promoting principles of equality and justice. Opinions supporting the idea of divine creation often highlight the intricacy and beauty of the natural world as evidence of a deliberate and intelligent design. Proponents argue that the complexity found in nature and humanity cannot be purely coincidental, suggesting a purposeful creation that fosters a sense of wonder and spiritual connection. However, challenges and alternative viewpoints arise from scientific explanations of the universe's origins, such as the Big Bang Theory and evolution, which some perceive as conflicting with literal interpretations of religious texts. This has led to ongoing debates between those advocating for creationism and those supporting scientific theories, sparking discussions on how faith and science can coexist or contrast. The concept of God's creation influences other aspects, such as moral and ethical guidelines within religious frameworks. It informs doctrines about human dignity, environmental responsibility, and communal harmony, integrating spiritual beliefs with practical living. Understanding God's creation provides a lens through which believers interpret their role in the world, shaping attitudes and actions towards both nature and society, and reinforcing the interconnectedness of all living things within a divinely orchestrated cosmos. The biblical account of Earth's creation refers to the narrative found primarily in the book of Genesis, where it is described how God created the heavens and the earth. In this account, God creates the world in 6 days, culminating in the formation of human beings on the 6th day and resting on the 7th. This narrative is foundational to Judeo-Christian beliefs, providing a framework for understanding not only the origin of the universe, but also the purpose and place of humans and animals within it. This point is significant because it underscores the belief in a deliberate and purposeful creation by a divine being, which often influences religious and ethical perspectives on the environment and human responsibility. For many believers, this account is more than a historical narrative. It posits humans as stewards of the earth, entrusted by God to care for and maintain the balance of His creation. A real-world application of this belief can be seen in the emphasis on environmental stewardship among faith-based organizations. For instance, initiatives like the Laudato Si by Pope Francis call for ecological responsibility, rooting their advocacy in the idea that the earth is a creation of divine origin. Another example is the Evangelical Environmental Network in the United States, where evangelical Christians promote environmental care as an act of obedience to God's commandments. Supporters of this view argue that the biblical account of creation emphasizes the sanctity and interconnectedness of all life, urging a respectful and sustainable approach to utilizing natural resources. However, this perspective is not without challenges. Critics often highlight the perceived conflict between the biblical creation story and scientific explanations such as the Big Bang Theory and evolution. Some suggest that the account should be interpreted metaphorically rather than literally, allowing for a reconciliation of religious beliefs with scientific findings. The biblical narrative of creation not only influences religious doctrine, but also culturally shapes the understanding of humanity's role in the world, often promoting a sense of moral obligation towards the environment and other living creatures. By exploring this account, individuals are invited to reflect on their environmental responsibilities and ethical treatment of animals, viewing these acts as reflective of a broader divine purpose. Thus, this concept is integral to discussions about God's creation, human identity, and the stewardship of Earth's resources, offering a unique intersection of faith, ethics, and ecological awareness. The concept of the creation of human beings within the broader topic of God's creation of the earth and human and animals refers to the belief, rooted in various religious traditions, that human beings were intentionally and purposefully created by a divine being. In many interpretations, this creation is not only physical, but also involves the imbuing of humans with a soul or spirit, setting them apart from other forms of life. This concept suggests that humans have a unique role or purpose within the context of the earth and its various ecosystems, often tied to stewardship, morality, and community. The significance of the creation of human beings is profound. In theological contexts, it underscores the idea that humans are part of a divine plan, endowed with unique capabilities such as reason, emotion, and moral discernment. The belief in a divine creation can influence human behavior, encouraging individuals to take responsibility for their actions and their impact on the world, reinforcing ethical and moral conduct. Examples of this concept in real-world applications include the stewardship of the environment and the formulation of ethical guidelines. The notion of stewardship is prevalent in many religious teachings, where humans are seen as caretakers of the earth, tasked with maintaining the planet's health and resources for future generations. This has inspired numerous environmental movements that integrate faith-based advocacy for conservation. Similarly, ethical considerations in medicine, law, and business often draw on the belief in the sanctity and dignity of human life, a principle derived from the idea of divine creation. Supporters of this idea, such as theologians and religious leaders, argue that recognizing a divine creation instills a sense of purpose and responsibility in individuals and communities. They contend that it provides a framework for understanding human value and equality, promoting actions that reflect compassion and justice. However, the creation of human beings as a divinely orchestrated act is not without its challenges or controversies. Scientific perspectives, particularly the theory of evolution, offer alternative explanations for human existence that do not rely on a divine creator. This can lead to debates between science and religion, with some viewing them as mutually exclusive, while others find ways to reconcile the two. This point interconnects with other aspects of the main topic by highlighting the relationship between humans and the rest of creation. It emphasizes the interconnectedness and interdependence of all living things, encouraging a holistic view of creation that values harmony and cooperation among all forms of life. Animals play a vital role in God's creation of the earth, serving as integral components of the ecosystem and as symbols of divine creativity and purpose. Within the context of religious teachings, particularly within the Judeo-Christian tradition, animals are viewed as purposeful creations, each species showcasing the diversity and richness of life that God brought into existence. They are seen as living manifestations of God's ingenuity and benevolence, contributing to the balance and harmony of the natural world. The significance of animals in creation extends beyond their ecological roles. They are often perceived as teachers and spiritual guides. Many religious texts and traditions highlight the lessons humanity can learn from animals, such as loyalty from dogs, perseverance from ants, and strength from eagles. These symbolic attributes underscore the belief that animals contribute not only to the physical environment, but also to spiritual growth and moral considerations. Specific examples of animals playing crucial roles in God's creation include bees and their indispensable contribution to the pollination process, ensuring the reproduction of plants and the sustainability of food sources. Another example is the elephant, known for its intelligence and complex social structures, which illustrates the depth of God's creations and their intrinsic value beyond human use. In support of these ideas, some theologians and spiritual leaders argue that animals reflect God's character and intentions for creation, emphasizing stewardship, respect, and care for all forms of life. This perspective is supported by the belief that humans are entrusted with the responsibility to protect and cherish animals as part of God's divine plan. However, the role of animals in creation is not without challenges and controversies. Debates often arise over issues such as animal rights, the ethics of using animals for human benefit, and the impact of human activities on wildlife. Alternative viewpoints may question the interpretation of animals' roles as primarily serving human purposes, advocating instead for a perspective that views animals as sentient beings with intrinsic rights. The role of animals in God's creation influences broader discussions on environmental stewardship and human responsibility. Recognizing animals as vital components of creation encourages a holistic view of the earth, where humans are seen as part of a larger community that includes all living beings. This interconnectedness calls for greater awareness and action towards preserving biodiversity and fostering sustainable living, aligning with the overarching theme of honoring God's creation in its entirety.